Let's get into Leviticus chapter 25. And the Lord spake unto Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When ye come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Lord. Which means like Friday evening to Saturday evening. Let's keep going, verse 3. 6 years thou shalt sow thy field, and 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard, and gather in the fruit thereof. So, okay, so I guess they're talking about years. 6 years thou shalt sow thy field, and 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard, and gather in the fruit thereof. So, I guess like you work very hard to buy a house, work hard enough to have like 6 years worth of savings to just relax and gather, have fruit trees and animals and all that stuff. Let's keep going, verse 4. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the Lord, a Sabbath for the Lord. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard. Okay. Alright, it's the 7th year they're talking about. So like save enough to have like a 7th year off. Save up, buy a house, work for 6 years, take the 7th year off, and just like enjoy it. Let's keep going, verse 5. That which groweth of its own accord of thy harvest thou shalt not reap, neither gather the grapes of thy vine undressed, for it is a year of rest unto the land. And the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you, for thee, and for thy servant, and for thy maid, and for thy hired servant, and for thy stranger that sojourneth with thee. So it is a Sabbath for everybody, for the maid, for the servant, and for the hired servant. Let's keep going, verse 7. And for thy cattle, and for the beasts that are in thy land, shall all the increase thereof be meat. And thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee, 7 times 7 years, and the space of the 7 Sabbaths of years shall be unto thee 49 years. Then shalt thou cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound on the 10th day of the 7th month. In the day of atonement shall ye make the trumpet sound throughout all your land. And ye shall hallow the 15th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession, and ye shall return every man unto his family. A jubilee shall that 50th year be unto you. Ye shall not sow, neither reap that which groweth of itself in it, nor gather the grapes in it of thy vine undressed. For it is the Jubilee, it shall be holy unto you. Ye shall eat the increase thereof out of the field. I'm guessing like maybe take some kind of rest, like maybe um, go to college for like 6 years and take the 7th year off because like you need it. You need it to recharge your batteries. Just take some kind of rest, like take like the 7th year of college off, just for yourself to go like travel or something, or take some kind of rest on the 7th year. In the year of this jubilee, ye shall return every man unto his possession. And if thou sell aught unto thy neighbor, or buyest aught of thy neighbor's hand, ye shall not oppress one another. Let me read this again, verse 14. And if thou sell aught unto the neighbor, or buyest aught of thy neighbor's hand, ye shall not oppress one another. Which means don't sell an orange for a ridiculous price, because someone might be struggling, like someone might be struggling really hard, and like let's say you buy an orange and it's like $5. $5 is ridiculous, a lot of these stores go up in these neighborhoods, forcing people to leave because the rent goes up. And all these new stores come up into these new neighborhoods, and they sell these foods at a ridiculous price, and no one's gonna try to buy it because it's too expensive, and it's only the guys that that are gentrifiers that are actually buying this crap, So let's keep going. Verse 15. According to the number of years after the Jubilee, thou shalt buy of thy neighbor. Okay, verse 15. According to the number of years after the Jubilee, thou shalt buy of thy neighbor, and according unto the number of years of the fruits he shall sell unto thee. If a neighbor sells you like an orange for cheap, sell him an orange for cheap. Sell him food for the best deal you can get from him, because that's a neighbor you'll know him for like years and years and years. And over time, you live in a neighborhood for so long, you develop a relationship with your neighbors, like some type of friendship or whatever, So, it's like, hey neighbor, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself? Oh, that's a nice fruit tree you're growing. That kind of thing. Verse 16. According to the multitude of years thou shalt increase the price thereof, and according to the fewness of years thou shalt diminish the price of it, for according to the number of the years of the fruits doth he sell unto thee. Ye shall not therefore oppress one another, but thou shalt fear thy God, for I am the Lord your God. Wherefore ye shall do my statutes and keep my judgments and do them. Wherefore ye shall do my statutes and keep my judgments and do them, and ye shall dwell into the land in safety. And the land shall yield her fruit, and ye shall eat your fill and dwell therein in safety. And if ye shall say, what shall we eat the 7th year? Behold, we shall not sow nor gather in our increase. Then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year, and it shall bring forth fruit for 3 years. And ye shall sow the 8th year, and eat yet of old fruit until the 9th year, until her fruits come in, ye shall eat of the old store. So all the fruit there you're going for on the third year, all the fruit that you're grown on the third year up until the end of the 6th year, just can all of it. Just jar it up, can it, and jar it. So you can have it stored for the 7th year. Let's keep going, verse 23. The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine, for ye are strangers and sojourners with me. And in all the land of your possession ye shall grant a redemption for the land. If thy brother be waxen poor, and hath sold away some of his possession, and if any of his kin come to redeem it, then shall he redeem that which his brother sold. So yeah, that means if you're about to lose everything, let a family member help you out, because that's what family is for. Verse 26. And if the man have none to redeem it, and himself be able to redeem it, then let him count the years of the sale thereof, and restore the overplus unto the man to whom he sold it, that he may return unto his possession. But if he be not able to restore it to him, then that which is sold shall remain in the hand of him that hath bought it until the year of Jubilee. And in the Jubilee it shall go out, and he shall return unto his possession. And if a man sell a dwelling house in a walled city, then he may redeem it within a whole year. After it is sold, within a full year may he redeem it. And if it be not redeemed within the space of a full year, then the house that is in the walled city shall be established forever to him that bought it throughout his generations. It shall not go out in the Jubilee. But the houses of the villages which have no wall round about them shall be counted as the fields of the country. They may be redeemed, and they shall go out in the Jubilee. Notwithstanding the cities of the Levites and the houses of the cities of their possession, may the Levites redeem at any time. And if a man purchase of the Levites, then the house that was sold and the city of his possession shall go out in the year of the Jubilee. For the houses of the cities of the Levites are their possession among the children of Israel. But the field of the suburbs of their cities may not be sold. Verse 34. But the field of the suburbs of their cities may not be sold, for it is their perpetual possession. I wouldn't want to sell like a community garden for someone who wants to build a Target. Why sell a community garden for someone who's going to try to build another Target or another Walmart or some other crap like that? Let's keep going. Verse 35. And if thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. Take thou no usury of them, or increase, but fear thy God, that thy brother may live with thee. Thou shalt not give him thy money upon usury, nor lend him thy victuals for increase. I am the Lord your God, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan, and to be your God. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor, and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant, but as an hired servant and as a sojourner. He shall be with thee, and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondsmen. Let's read verse 41 down again. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return. For they are my servants, which I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondsmen. Huh. Okay. So I guess whoever, I don't know. Whoever sold those, whoever sells those Hebrews again, they shall not be sold again after they were enslaved by the Egyptians. And I guess that's their own thing to deal with. Let's see, verse 43. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shalt fear thy God. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begat in your land, and they shall be in your possession. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession. They shall be your bondmen forever. But over your brethren, the children of Israel, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor. And if a sojourner or stranger wax rich by thee, and thy brother that dwelleth by him wax poor, and sell himself unto the stranger or sojourner by thee, or to the stock of the stranger's family, after that he is sold, he may be redeemed again. One of his brethren may redeem him. So I guess a bad slave master can that they have the slave, and then the good slave master that treats him better should redeem him, because it'd be pretty miserable to keep living under a bad slave master or whatever, if he's gonna kill him or whatever. Sorry, let me rephrase this. So if let's say a slave master owns that slave, and he beats them and underfeeds him and all that stuff, he needs to be redeemed by the good slave master, Believe it or not, we still have slaves. We have there's Arabs enslaving African children right now. Bet you didn't know that. Let's keep going. Verse 49. Either his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is nigh of kin unto him of his family may redeem him. Or if he be able, he may redeem himself. And he shall reckon with him that bought him from the year that he was sold to him unto the year of Jubilee. And the price of the sale shall be according unto the number of years, according to the time of an hired servant shall be with him. So if he redeems himself, I guess he can run away, he can run away. And that's good, because if he runs away, he can run away to a place that is illegal to have slaves, and start a family and have kids, start a business and all that stuff, and possibly build an army to to wage war against the slave, the places that are legal to have slaves, form like an army to take back what's theirs and fight against the places that have legal slaves, and that's been done before in the past, right here in the United States. And I guess that's what it means when they say redeem himself, but I'm not sure. If there be yet many years behind, according unto them, he shall give again the price of his redemption out of the money that he was bought for. And if there remain but few years unto the year of Jubilee, then he shall count with him, and according unto his years shall he give him again the price of his redemption. And as a yearly hired servant shall he be with him, and the other shall not rule with rigor over him in thy sight. And if he be not redeemed in these years, then he shall go out in the year of Jubilee, both he and his children with him. For unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. And he's going to keep. So this is the end of the chapter. He's going to keep. He's going to keep freeing people out of these oppressive nations. He's going to keep doing that, just like you see with the Ashkenazis in Germany in the 40s. He's going to keep freeing people from these oppressive lands. And some of the ones that are away from these oppressive lands form an army and fight back against the oppressors and take back what's rightfully theirs. Just like with the Jim Crow thing that was happening in America back in the over the past 400 years, this past century, there were slaves and they were being held captive and working for free, and they were stripped away of any rights and dignity whatsoever. So some of them fled to the north, and they had families, children, businesses, and then some of them joined some type of union, fought back against the slave states, and won. But anyways, some of them escaped. Some of them, I guess, had the land sold to them for helping out in such a way. But some of them didn't. A lot of them didn't get their lands back. A lot of them didn't get their lands back, actually. But I don't know. Maybe some of the slave masters did give the ex-slaves part of their property. But who knows? I don't really know. I should find that out in the history books. But yeah, this was kind of a prophecy. It is kind of a prophecy in here. But But any type of oppression, if you're captive or your country is at war, or your nation is at war with somebody, just like you can have a backup plan. You can move out of that country, form a guerrilla army, and fight back. Thank you for chiming in, and have a great day.